Look at today. Rah! Different energy. How are we, peeps? It's a Sunday session again, and we're having a bit of a fun day today. And it's just about numbers, because numbers is what happened. Rain fell from the sky. That creates numbers that we work by. So Muzz is going to join us, and we'll just see what crazy hat he's got, and we'll have a chat about numbers, not just numbers for farms and how that affects the numbers that go down the economy, but numbers in business. So, how we build our business with numbers. It's just the numbers game. So give it a thumbs up when you get on. Even drop a photo in the comments of you wearing a crazy hat. That'd be a fun game to play. But Muzz shall be here soon, he promised. So here's the Muzz. So, yeah, crazy hat day. Numbers. Had a bit of precipitation down here. Maybe you can chuck a comment in. Have you had any precipitation this last weekend? Because I've had my fair amount. And I think it's Cyclone Lincoln has been working its way around WA. So let's hear some stories about Cyclone Lincoln and what gift he's given us. Or something like that. Numbers. Pie chart today. You like a pie chart? I could tell you about a pie chart and a compensation plan. But, and they're clicking buttons and all that sort of stuff like that. And as the man promised, 1, 2, 3, here's Murray.
G'day, gang. How are we?
How you going, Muzz?
Oh, not bad. I'm sorry, guys. I will be listening. I will be participating, but I'm in the middle of trying to fix a blessed lawnmower at the moment. Anyway, I'm just putting it all back together at least.
Marvellous. Well,
love your hat, mate.
Thanks, mate. And I got the fur coat to match the beard almost.
Oh, I see it now. Must have been, I thought that was part of your hair.
Really big furry bastard. So just chatting before you got on, Muzz. So it's a numbers game.
Yep.
And there's numbers hitting the roof here that you might get through the mic, you might not. Bit of precipitation fell from the sky. How'd you go this weekend?
What's your total now?
At the house, I'm over 70.
Jesus, mate, that's wonderful news.
Yeah, it's good. It's almost worth building a boat. It's not it's not exactly rains of biblical proportion, but I'm not going that big. Don't need to bring all the animals on 2x2.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, that's pretty fucking special. I mean, oh, you bastard. I see. 70 mil, and so was that that's over a few days though, isn't it? Like, nearly over a week? Was this we last talked?
No, it's 24 hours. That's one day.
That's 24 hours. So much washing out or anything? Anything like that? Any serious damage, or is it just okay?
Well, I would say it's certainly, because I had a couple of weeks ago I had 30 at the house, so that brings me up to 100 for the fortnight, which is good. And what this one has done, if you have your contours clean and everything like that, all the water ends up in your dams once your paddocks are full. And because it was just, over 24 hours, it wasn't in 4 hours or anything mad like that. No. So good steady rain, a couple of storms, a few hailstones, bit of fun. It's moved a bit of earth and stuff. But it's one of those rains you needed to start the year, because it's just filled all the dams up. We've had
Yep.
Good dry summer, and you just, it wasn't too far off before the last rain. Well, I was going to have to start trucking water out to sheep, and we know how much that's a waste of money. It's hard enough sometimes you've got to hand feed sheep, and that costs a lot of money to keep them alive, and we won't go into the price and how that's given us a raw pineapple up the backside at the moment. That's not helping things. But this rain has just topped everything up. Give it 7-10 days, this whole area is going to turn green. And then I'm going to get around
And
in
you'd
good old
be
Neville.
laughing.
Oh, I'm going to get around in good old Neville. I'm going to turn it all brown. I'm going to spray it all out.
Absolutely. What's my uncle reckon? His favourite thing is he says, yeah, it's great. You get rain to grow. You want rain to grow the things that you need, and then you got to spray to keep the things to get rid of the things you don't want. Something to that effect. It's just this never-ending cycle.
Well, it's a simple analogy for it, Muzz. There's money in mud.
Yeah.
Right? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're spending money. You can be spending money or you're making money, but there's still money in mud.
Yep.
Just add water, mate. It's just the numbers game.
Oh, absolutely. It is upside down. Look at me go. So, and it's one of the things that someone, somebody asked Dad once. They said, "Oh, what's the station like, Tim? Your buddy, is a good yield. Like, you grow some cattle. Well, it's cheap." He said, "Oh yeah, no, it's a great place. Just add water."
Yeah.
And I mean, unfortunately, we don't get the consistent rainfall that a lot of people get. And so no, it's getting there. It's getting there. But so, what's your numbers? I'm intrigued to hear about your numbers.
Numbers. So I did something a little bit woo-woo, if you want to call it that. I had a numerological reading.
We know I like woo-woo, so bring it on.
Yeah. So I had a numerological reading with my boy Bobby.
Yes.
Bobby BF Paraha. If you don't know him, you do now. And he's the numbers guy that I had a meeting with last week. And I followed him for a little bit. So whether you believe it or not, there's energy in numbers and attached to your name and stuff like that. And the letters of the alphabet add up to certain things and create a thing. So your name means something, the time of day that you were born and your birth date means something, and these things all add up to what's called a life path. And it can, when this guy was reading these numbers, he's just saying things, and he's saying things what he thinks about me from what the numbers saying, and I'm going, you know what, that's right, that's a fair description. And one of the things that he said, hence the costume, and why I like this so much, is I have an energy. So he calls it I'm a projector as far as things go. So I like to talk. I have good throat energy, and I'm really good at talking.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but there's these other things, like there's this Odin energy, or grandfather, or healer, or teacher, or a king wisdom coming through. Like this is part of the chakra stuff between the mind, or the mind and the third eye is a different one, and then the throat and the guts, and there's all these different energy sectors as to what works. And he's describing things about my life. He's going, how you feeling? I'm going, that's pretty much spot on. Like that's 100%. Yeah. And as far as things that I've done in my first 27 years is a phase of life. And then now I'm into my second 27 years, so 28 to 54 is my second stage of life. And then after 54, you're in your third stage of life. And if you're lucky enough to live more than 80-something years, you've done really well. So you've got good numbers.
Absolutely.
But, so all these things add up to a meaning and an energy and stuff like that. So he's saying things like, you're good with money and you seem to attract money and you've got a lot of money coming to you, which he didn't know that I was, we're doing farm succession and stuff like that, but he saw that coming, so, whether you call it woo or not, he saw the money coming, or says he can see the energy. And at this stage in life, I'm still in teacher mode and stuff like that. So I go to a different mode after 54. I've got the whole thing on audio to review, but these are just some of the things that I looked at. So I'm a life path 6, and my name numbers are 669. So, and if you go on to
just 3 off the magic number.
Well, that's so that number is the human number at birth.
Is that a fact?
So when you look at the energy of birth, and you've got, you're going full woo-woo here. So you've got God as the Father, and Mother Earth as the Creator, and all this stuff adds up to the human existence. Is the Big Bang, or the bright spark at the moment of conception, is the energy exchange, and scientists have proved that. They call it a God molecule. They've actually videotaped the moment when a sperm enters the egg, and that moment where conception has happened, there's a flash of light.
I'd be fucked.
So it's interesting segue for numbers. So that's how they come up with those numbers. There's a whole following. I won't call it a cult or religion, but it's certainly following of people who look at numbers, and there's a wisdom to it. Goes all the way back to Egyptians and stuff like that. So, pyramids are built, and you got Pythagoras theorem and stuff like that. All these numbers and maths add up to a commonality.
Yes.
So, numbers
is
the whole existence of Earth. And then, so if numbers is that simple, because money is just numbers, like water.
Yes. That's
why they call it currency, because it's like the ocean. And you create money from, so they say there's money in mud because rain falls from the sky. So there's currency in the rain.
Yes.
So that's my numbers experience. And then you go into, all right, so if you want to create influence, you need followers.
Yes.
And your followers might bring followers. So, that could be considered team building. So you build a page like we've done, and you bring one. So one, and then there's 2 people in the group. And then those 2 people invite one more each. Suddenly you've got 4 people in the group. One of those people talks to 5 mates. And then suddenly you've got, if I talk to 5 mates and they follow, and you talk to 5 mates and they follow, and then those other 2 blokes talk to 5 mates and they follow, suddenly you've got 24 people in the group, right?
Yes.
So then that becomes a team, in essence. Yeah?
Yeah.
We've got yourself, myself, and Scotty are in the same business.
Yep.
So we understand that and the team. And then there's plenty of guys in the group that are from the footy team. So you need 18 players for a footy team.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yeah, it's just numbers.
Yeah, it's been a while since I played footy. I had to think about that for a minute.
Footy season's about to start for me, or training hasn't stopped, but footy season is about to start. So
you'll be ready to go there, sir.
Well, under all this fur, there is a certain level of fitness, but not speed.
You're going to be running laps around those pups out in the field there, Stuart. Is that the amount of work you do?
No. See, I've come up with this other theory, right? So one of the Rocky movies, so, good old boxing movie, when he gets a bit old to fight, and he's got to fight this young fella, right? So his coach goes, right, you're not faster than him. You're not going to outpace him. So what are we going to do? We're going to build your strength up. We're going to build some power bombs. Yeah, so pick up the drum and throw it around. You can do that on the farm all the time. Empty 44, pick it up over your head, chuck it on the back of the ute. Done. That's the old. So my theory is, at my age of 43, why don't I focus on being as solid as possible? Being that dependable. I might not be the fastest anymore. Certainly wasn't ever the fastest, but I was up there. But now that I'm slowing down and the knees start to talk to me more and the ankles talk to me more and the speed isn't quite there, I want to make sure that if I get hold of someone If I go to lay a tackle, they're going to know about it.
You've got to hold them.
I've got to hold them. They're not going to slip any tackles. That's the plan.
I dare you to move now, you bastard.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all part of the numbers game too. And probably the biggest thing that we want to implore the guys in the group is that if you're in the footy team or the mustering team or whatever, you are just the numbers. Why wouldn't you, while Muzz is drinking his water, think about joining the water team? Now, Muzz and I don't play water polo in the same team, but we both drink the same water. How do you drink the same water and we're hundreds of kilometres apart? It's the same machine on the bench. Creates the same water. So that's, that makes us equal because we drink the same water.
Drink the same water and get
that's right.
better quality of life together.
That's right.
100 kilometres apart.
It is just business. I've got my pie chart here. Well, there's me little, don't know if you can see it. Muzz got my little pie chart, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I got him.
We all know about the compensation plan, and that's just numbers. More numbers. Talk about numbers. How do you make bigger numbers? You sell bigger number products. You don't have to sell more products. We've talked about this before. Whether you sell 10,000 hats for $10 profit, or you sell 10 cars or 100 cars at $10,000 profit, it's the same way to $1 million. But you've got to have a conversation for the car, and you've got to have a conversation for the hat. You work. Some people might buy more cars than hats in a lifetime. So where's your market that you could be selling? Then I'm not saying everyone should go out and be a car salesman, but it is a numbers game. But what everyone could be is what Muzz and I do, and Scotty, is we sell stuff through our social media, and we sell the same product that we use that everyone can have and afford in their house. It's really not that hard. Muzz and I did it, and we're not rolling around in, this isn't gold plated. I don't have gold bloody locks. They might be yellow, but they're not Goldilocks on the thing. But it's as simple as that. It's just numbers. And when you bring in one guy, do you get 2 pieces of the pie? And how many guys do you bring in to get 4 pieces of the pie? How many guys do you bring in to get 6 pieces of the pie? And what if we teach you how to get 8 pieces of the pie? Right? Simples. And then by the time you're getting 8 pieces of the pie, I'm not getting any pie. So that's
But that doesn't mean you're missing out.
The difference in this business. That's what makes this business different to everything else. Is the reason that we do this is if you work harder than us and you do more than us, you get more than us, right? And there's a point where it's not outrank. Well, you can actually. You can outrank the guy that brought you in on the first day. Simples. It is that simple. So it is a numbers game. Here's my other props. I love this prop. I've got this one. If you want to know more, do this. Click here. or click this button. Learn more. Go there.
Nice.
All
it.
These other things. It is simple, just the numbers game. It's like Muzz fixing his mower. It's just time. That's numbers.
And it's time, like the mower, whatever you're looking at, it's time worth spending, while fixing this blighter of a thing. I managed to find a loose broken wire, and so I don't know if that was actually the problem why it wasn't running so smooth, but while I was on the job, let's fix that while we're on it. Let's spend the time to get it right so I'll get more time, running the machine than fixing it later on.
Yeah. So how do we describe? We call that a money-making activity. You're spending time to increase your productivity. And that's one of the terms we use in online business is what is a money-making activity? Yes, we have to scroll and find stuff, but then are we scrolling to find inspiration to make a post? I've done a few posts lately of the Viking energy, the Holy Odin energy. Since talking to Bobby, I've gone, I'll roll back to that one. It's not the first time I've worn this get up online. It doesn't bother me. People have their opinions. Bring it. I have my voice and I'm not afraid to use it.
Absolutely. Make the most of it, mate. As long as you're going to have fun doing it, who gives a flying continental? And it proves a point. Yeah. It's proving a point for you, at least, which is all that matters.
Yeah.
And as long as it resonates with other people, that's your next thing.
But what if I didn't start this business and I didn't do that work in the background to get over that part of myself to go, stuff it. I'll do what I want. Doesn't matter. People's opinions don't matter. Fear of other people's opinions. We've gone across this subject before. At what point does their opinion actually matter?
And at what point, do you realise you're letting those opinions affect you? Which, I mean, as you said, we talked about it before, and it's something that still bugs me, but it's funny, I was thinking about it before getting on today. I was at a clearing sale last week. Did you know that until Wednesday last week, I had been without an alcoholic beverage in 3 months and 2 days?
There you go. That's not bad.
So, but of course, clearing sale came around and, I had to celebrate my purchase of a Jetstream tank and trailer for $10 and with a beverage. Anyway, while at the show, oh, look, mate, I was the envy of everyone, you can imagine. Anyway, while looking at this prime piece of bloody real estate amongst the clearing sale there, I was talking to a gentleman there who we know each other. We're acquaintances of such description. And anyway, we had a bit of a yak. But what amazed me was that a friend of his rocked up, and this bloke who I'd been talking to about machines and things turned his back on me to talk to this other bloke and walked off while we were in mid-conversation. Now, I let it bother me for about 5 seconds because I was just dumbfounded that someone could do that, be that rude. And maybe I read into it wrong, whatever, but I wasn't. But people's opinions or whatever, I chose not to let that bother me. And I don't know if we can work that into your numbers there, Stuart, but I just, at that stage, well, I suppose you could work in the numbers because that was one person or two people because he and his mate walked away from me. But I still had, what did I have? I had at least 6 to 8, or maybe 10 other people that I was talking to that day and had good, healthy, fun, engaging conversations with that day. Yeah. And so I was able to easily then walk away thinking, I'm still the better man here because I know that I didn't do anything wrong and that's his problem. And I spent, it was $11 I spent on my prime piece of equipment because I put GST on it afterwards. GST, which, and you know how much that annoyed me? A whole other dollar. I suppose I've got to get the Christmas fund somehow. But yeah, it's just so interesting, Stuart. Anyway, I've probably segued a little bit too much there. Sorry. Anyway,
no, that's
to you, sir.
That's a perfect segue into the numbers conversation because how many people in promoting this business do we get messages from? And you go, yeah, would you like to see? No. Does that affect us because we don't actually know this person? Or you go have a beer with a bloke down the pub, and I've done it, gone down and said, would you like to know about this water business? No. Bugger off. Yeah, okay, no problems. The 1,000 no's that I've got, you never get immune to them, right? They all have their effect. But if you don't ask the question or have the conversation, how are you going to build a team or, create friends to go down the pub, if I rocked into Geraldton pub, sat at the bar, and just face the bar and sip my drink, would I make any friends? No. If I got my beer, had a look around, see if there's a couple of people I can go and talk to, and I go and talk to them. And maybe they want a conversation, maybe they don't. But if I don't go and talk to them, I'm not going to meet new people. Which is the same as if we don't put ourselves on social media and promote ourselves, because that is the personal branding part. If we don't promote ourselves, how do we have the conversations to have the leads to then pre-qualify the leads to go, they are interested or not interested? But that is a numbers game. Yeah, any of the big leaders in the business, they go, if you show your video to 10,000 people, maybe 1,000 people might actually pay attention to it. Maybe 100 people might click on it. Maybe 10 people might start that conversation. And out of those 10 people, is one person actually going to watch that video, that webinar or something? So how many 10,000 people need to see your content? Because if you go 10%, if you just work on 10% of everything, you got 1,000 friends on Facebook, the algorithm is probably going to show it to 100 of your friends, not 1,000 of them. So for you to access 1,000 of those friends, you have to go and do some legwork and like a few posts of theirs. You know, you follow a few friends. Maybe if you have a thought of someone you haven't spoken to in 6 months, find them on Facebook, go see what the last posted up, leave a comment. And then anything you put up, you're going to go into their feed, and then it might reignite a conversation. But it is the game of numbers. How many people are going to walk away from us at a clearing sale? I can't tell you how many hundreds of people have, in starting this business, it's not the first business I've had, would walk the other direction in the shops.
Yeah.
To walk in the shopping aisle, to watch someone go, out they go. They're not coming to talk to me. They're going to walk in a different aisle to not talk to me. Yeah. And that's
to avoid having
I don't
a conversation.
have to sell them every time I talk to them. That's not the point. But that's their opinion of me at that time. And lots of people have learnt that that's not the case with this business. I'm not, unlike other businesses where you try and sell everyone everything. This is not that business. So that that becomes the numbers game. So how do I find, in a town of 400 people, how do I find 10,000 people to talk to? You make a video on Facebook, chatting to a bud, and then you put that on your Facebook reels and stuff like that. We'll get technology, we'll use the AI magic, and we will pump out some reels. And any wisdom that we have, pearls of wisdom, the Viking pearls of wisdom, that's the sort of stuff that will then go in our content for 10,000 people to see, to have 1,000 conversations, to get 100 people to maybe have a look at something, to get 10 people to maybe do something about it. And
to then maybe change their numbers in life.
Well, that's right. And I even did it in, again, numbers thing, in another group, in another video I was part of, little Zoom call. Love a good Zoom call. The pearl of wisdom that I imparted to that lady who was in America, the host was in Canada, the other lady was in America, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning in Western Australia, and we're all having a chin wag. All right? Easy as that. Heck, that's a worldwide business. But this lady was going through some stuff, and as she's talking through stuff, I said, oh, all right, so you're talking to thousands of people, having hundreds of conversations, and she's attaching emotion or attaching a feeling to the conversations, friends that she thinks should join the business, but she can't get them to cross the line. And I said, well, there's the key point, the 3 or 4 Ds as to why people change their life. Death, disease, debt. You make decisions based on these drastic changes in life based on that. There's another one I can't think of at the moment. It's right there.
Divorce.
Divorce. There you go, tip of the tongue. Drastic things in our life that make us have a look at ourselves. You make changes. And I happen to confess to that lady. I said, I'm nailing a good 3 of them for, to why I started this business to change my life, because I was looking for something different, because I was getting divorced. I was, no one had died. There's been lots of people in our lives. We see death all the time, and affects us differently depending on the proximity to the person. But it happens, and not feeling the decision-making power to the farm. So then I was depressed. So then you look to change life. So, it's that pivot point in my life as to why I changed. So these people, I said to this lady, I said, these people aren't at that stage. So if you, in the conversation, if they don't have a pain point to change their life, they're not going to change. It doesn't matter what you show them or what you say to them, they're not going to change. So, and that's a practice in conversations. I've been told that I need to have more conversations because my sales technique isn't as polished as it could be, to find out that that person's pain point happens to be the example we use, is the reason they want to change, and is the reason they want to change because they know, like, and trust us in this Facebook group to go, yes, I will do business with these guys. And what's the business they're going to show us? Well, we just, the TFE just did the whole Make It Rain webinar thing that I've still yet to review all that. And I thought that was well timed as before the weekend when it rained a lot. Absolutely. So there's a lot of Make It Rain memes and jokes and stuff's coming out. But, again, that is just the numbers game. So that's as simple as numbers.
That's so interesting, Stuart. Thanks for bringing that up today.
That's all right. And it is part of the thing. If we do, and I'll be honest, I missed the Wednesday wisdom for off in the la land of numbers and my own headspace and stuff like that, because we do have to process this stuff. Everyone processes decisions and thoughts and that differently. I invested in myself to do that the numbers thing. I can't even say it half the time. But so I am invested in that because I've got skin in the game, money. So you want to make that money as useful to you as possible. Same as, when we do these webinars and stuff, that's the free bit. But then when you get into learn something, when you join the Freedom Era, you put skin in the game. So the idea is for you to learn something, and you want to make it learn because you've invested in yourself.
You're invested in it, yes.
Yeah. Because what value does someone create by giving away everything for free? There's a certain amount of value. Is there not more value in learning more by investing in yourself or investing money in your business? That couple $100 I spent on the numbers thing to learn about my energy, my numbers and stuff has reinvigorated a certain power within my business. So invested in myself, found out something to use, using it, making content, stuff like that, where I probably might have hit a flat spot or, wandered off in a direction for different things, but you've got to put some effort in. And there's only so much we can tell you for free. I can show you how to make a group. That I can show you for free. I can show you how to make a Facebook video. You could probably learn that easy. You can Google that on YouTube after you watch this video on YouTube. But it's
come up the algorithm there.
Yeah, but it's like, if I'm giving you something for free, how much do you value it? You go, oh, it's free, I'll just use it and whatever. But if I say I'm going to charge you $50 to teach you how to make Facebook videos, create some impact, and make a group, make a business page to sell your business to potentially create tens of thousands of dollars, are you not interested? Because you can't make $10,000 out of nothing. You've got to put some money in the machine to make the money work for you to make the money. Spend your $11 on a jet stream. Yeah, that's going to make you do something. You've invested in that, so you're invested into using it. You've got a thought process, you're going to use it. I've also invested in farm machinery, and we don't have to care about the numbers, but you know, we all buy farm machinery as farmers. But I'm invested heavily. $10, it's a lot more than $10. But so that's a lot of skin in the game. So there's a lot of intention to generate that money back. If I just get it and do nothing with it, it is going to cost me a lot of money. But if I don't create a business from it, because I didn't buy a 40-foot swather to not go do contract swathing, right?
Absolutely.
Right? You'd be mad if you didn't. So that's the intention. So I've got the workmate. He's going to get used to driving the Nitro, the other Nitro, who will be named Nigel. Why Nigel? Because Nigel's a fucking legend. If you don't know that song, you're not old enough.
Or haven't been around enough.
Well, I think, pretty sure it's a KBW song. Kevin Bloody Wilson.
Yeah.
Google it. Nigel, the fucking legend.
Nigel!
Bloody legend. Probably fucking bloody legend, because he doesn't F-bomb. So.
Oh, doesn't he?
Yeah. But that was, I even manifested this. Ready? So Nitro's not up there anymore because I've got it. I manifested this when I got the first Nitro. I said, what am I going to call this Nitro? So we called him Neville, because he's not the one I wanted. You know, he's not the legendary version of what I wanted. So he's not a Nigel.
He's not a Nigel.
You know,
he's
that's
Neville.
the musical influence in our life. Did you know music is just numbers? It's just frequency.
Makes sense now you say it.
More numbers. So your body vibration, again, numbers, likes a certain music type, which makes your body produce endorphins and whatever, because you're matching a frequency. So to be happy, you have a certain frequency. If you're sad, you have a certain frequency, up, down, stuff like that. So you can change your frequency, numbers, by changing the input in your life.
Yes.
Put some skin in the game. Change your numbers. Start a business. Get
amongst it.
Muzz is spraying with his jet stream, or Stewie's contract swathing with Nigel. You know, and it's just numbers. So probably the big question is, if your numbers aren't where you want them to be, you know, how fat's your wallet right now? Mine's not, right? So I've got to do more to put more money in that wallet. Or do I just do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result?
Change the input of numbers to bloody get different output of numbers.
Yeah. So, you know, and as farmers, we know it's different. So a bit of rain's falling from the sky. So we'll look for a good year, which will make our yields a bit bigger. That means the truckies are going to have to cart more grain, because we're all going to grow more food. So then everyone gets more food at the shops, because the truckies are going to take it to the shops. And you're going to be able to eat it. You're going to be able to go down your local shop because some veteran or service person somewhere is protecting your way of life. They're out fighting the battles that you're not fighting, so that you can walk down the shops, that truckie is delivered to the shops for you after the farmer has grown it for you, so you can go buy your steak and veggies.
Absolutely. safely.
Yeah. So I think that's a perfect ending to, we'll wrap this video up. What do you reckon, Muzz? You got mower to fix.
Oh, buddy, I can start it now, but I'm a bit embarrassed if a buddy goes wrong, so we'll sign off quickly, eh?
All righty. So this is how it is. We just had a big rant about it. Thanks to all the farmers that grow all the food. Thanks to all the truckies that transport all our goods and stuff around Australia, New Zealand, all around the world. You need a truck driver. Trust me, you do. And then thanks to all the service people, veterans and current service people that are protecting our way of lifestyle. If you knew what they went through for you to be able to walk down the shops, you would, some people would be mortally afraid to do the same thing. And there's people that go and do that. There's stuff being done that you'll never know to protect your way of life. So be thankful for every single service person that you see. Even the people, you know, your police, your fireys, your park rangers, all that. They all have a job to do to make your life as nice as possible. So respect them.
Exactly right. Please do.
So I reckon that's a good sign off. You can get into your mower, Muzz. I might have a bit of lunch before I go play with the loader.
Sounds good, mate. And look, thanks everyone, and take care. Thank you, Stuart, for a bloody wonderful session, and we'll catch you all soon.
See you next week. Get in the Sunday session. Peace out. Have a good one, people.